Hi guys, it's Alston. Today I have an interesting video because we have been learning keyword research for the past week, and I've been showing how important when it comes to keyword research you have to have a clear understanding of market research, industry research and everything. I have created a separate video showing the importance of market research, and I've been now showing different tools or softwares which you can use when it comes to doing a successful market research and understanding the pain points of the customers and everyone. Last week we looked into topic moju. This week I invited Arish to give us a walkthrough on CrawlIQ, how you can use CrawlIQ to do a successful market research, how you can understand pain points of the customers, or just to learn about the industry. I'm going to give him a random niche example for him to choose, and we are going to look into process like how he is going to use CrawlIQ to understand the niche much better. Thank you so much,
Right.
Arish, for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Alston. And before I go, I want to express again my thanks because it is, I think, second session I will be doing with you. And I just one request. Can you say one more time with me, Crawl Q and not Crawl
CrawlIQ.
IQ? Crawl Q.
CrawlIQ.
Yes, let's say it crawl Q.
Got it.
But the IQ is also good, but I just wanted to make sure that we do it correctly.
Yeah, crawl Q is going
Q.
to increase our IQ. So that is the tagline for your
Yes,
product.
you can use crawl IQ, no problem.
Okay, so
Right.
the I right now have two different example of a market where, let's say, I want to create the website around it. I haven't shared this before, Arish, so there is no preparation or anything like that. I
Yeah.
have two example. One is a local market example where it's a tennis equipment shop to
Mhm.
sell tennis equipment shop, so you can use that. Or if you want to use an international example, something like weight loss diet. I'm just giving two example. You feel free to choose whichever the one you are comfortable with it, and you can show the process on how to do a market research using CrawlQ.
Sure, we can, of course, choose both. I have no preference, but shall we do the tennis one? Because I think weight loss was earlier I covered in one of my demo workspace.
Sure, sure, we can do that.
So I'll share my screen and
Let me approve it. Okay, cool.
can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see it.
Right. So when you start with CrawlQ, you can start directly with the workspace name. Workspace name is directly referring to your idea that you just mentioned to me. And can you say again, what is this? Tennis,
Tennis, a tennis equipment shop.
tennis equipment shop. Let's do it this way. So, and since you said there is no website yet, but I will put something like HTTPS uh, tennis uh, shop.com, just to make sure that there is nothing happening with the domain name. It's just to make we connect our business idea with a specific domain. But at this point, it's not crawling or anything related to do this. It's just to make sure that every project has a specific domain attached to it, right? That's the main idea. So let's work on couple of onboarding questions, and that will help us to steer the seed idea. So here we are talking about tennis equipment shop. So let's say and it's kind of both of us will talk together through this. So who are the people you think will be interested to buy this tennis equipment? And let's say this is the definition of niche in CrawlQ. So when I say niche is a single person, so is a someone who is aspiring to become a tennis player. You would say something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is a one
So
example.
young adult who is aspiring under, let's say, 19 to become a tennis player. Now, when I say sub niche, micro niche. We are still trying to narrow it down to make it more specific in the same problem solution space. So the problem solution, when I say, is a young adult who's looking for a solution for tennis equipment, right? And he's our target audience. He's under 19 and he wanted to become tennis player, professional tennis player. So let's further expand this and make it quite specific. That's the idea with the sub niche. So tennis uh, intern or tennis is still not tennis player. So let's say,
Can we do tennis training equipment or something like that?
yeah, I will add this a young um, kid under 19 looking for tennis equipments, uh, like, for example, say tennis ball, right? Tennis uh, racket, right? And related items for his next uh, tournament participation. You see, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to expand this from a young adult. I expanded it to young kid under 19, and this person, this young adult, this boy is looking for tennis racket and other tennis equipment. Now, I say still it is quite broad because there could be many kids like that, and I want to make it more specific in this sense. So, who they are, what is their situation, and how exactly, what exactly they are looking for. So, let's say um, high school high school student um, preparing to participate at local level uh, competition, uh, looking for necessary tennis uh, equipment at cheap cost and affordable. I would say at good quality and affordable
Affordable
cost.
price.
At good quality and affordable price. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. We are narrowing it down the
Yes.
topic.
Yes. So you might have seen that we are not going further from the boy. We are still talking about same boy, but we are narrowing it down, making it more and more specific. And that's the idea with niching down, with making the topic, the niche, very specific. Now let's say vertical is tennis sports, and I would say beginners level tennis sports.
Hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Then finally, I wanted to put an ideal prospect with the name. The way it goes is who they are, what is their specific situation, and what problem or pain point we want to solve. So here, let's take example. Let's say Joseph is 16-year-old high school student. He is aspiring to become a professional tennis player in the state level league. Uh, league. Um, he is he. So this is his current situation. A 16-year-old, makes sense. His specific situation. He's passing out from his high school. He's aspiring to become a professional tennis player, and he's looking for state level participation. Now we have to say what is this? What is the specific problem or pain point that he is having? So he's struggling to find right tennis um, equipment, equipments uh, like tennis ball, racket, and other necessary nes- necessary accessories to uh, in good quality and uh, low budget. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, makes sense. We are creating a sample scenario where we are narrowing down the market, and we are identifying that one customer of our product.
Right. One single customer of our product. And most ideally, I know this Joseph. He might live next to my door. I know this person because then I can invite him on a coffee date and talk more about his problem and pain point. If I am into a business of tennis equipment shop, definitely that is not a problem because I already have someone in my mind,
True,
right, in my
true,
network, right? So this is our kind of a starting seed idea, and this is just onboarding question, and that's
true.
where the starting point of CrawlQ, and you can then go into deep dive with the market research with this single person here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to walk you through the demographics, semantics, psychographics. These are only the four most important, necessary, and mandatory categories that you build your data structure for
Mm,
CrawlQ. And once you do that, it's exactly like you can call them patterns of how AI recognize or frameworks and many different tools. You call them differently, but idea is same. That you have a structured data, and based on this, you are creating content later. But let's
mm,
focus only on the market research. Now, how to we start with one person, but obviously we cannot sell our item tennis equipment to only one person.
true.
We need to identify a statistically significant number of people under 19, and there is a market under 19 if you ask me, right? So then there will be more people, and in order to do that we can generate more insights. For example, we can improve this our initial idea, we can make it more general, abstract, but still we focus into a specific market so we can generate those insights from here. So these insights basically are driven by some sort of copywriting definitions, formulas in the background, and also the initial information, seed idea that we provide to AI.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So niche. So basically, the people in this niche are a small category. They can be targeted directly by email, Facebook, Instagram. Their this age group is 10 to 19-year old. The main philosophy here is you have to sell your product directly to them, so you can reach out to their parents to buy your product for them, and also selling via eBay, Amazon, FBA. Now, it's already telling us some direction, right?
True.
It's not like just we are doing here some basic research, but more advanced research, like with our business idea. If I am a shopkeeper or I am just starting my business, it's so much valuable information. Micro
True.
niche, you have to start keyword research, tennis equipment, sports, high school preparation for competition, amateur course, blah blah blah. Companies about beginner level tennis sport ideas as many 16-year-old aspiring tennis player or young kids who are participating in tournament, young aspiring professional tennis player looking for good quality and affordable price. So I can modify it with these ideas. If I want, I can generate more such insights. So then it's just like your research, right?
True.
You can create more ideas, do one more time, so it's going to stack those insights. So what we have generated earlier and what we generate now, and as we go along with this, right, as we do more of this,
Mm.
um, this will get better and better because subsequently they will also use the data what we are going to enter here. So
Okay,
for
so
example,
first let us read this generation. Can you go at top?
so this was the first one that we generated. and this is the second attempt. So possible
Okay.
future domain name are tennis racket, tennis court, for SEO for this niche. So it's also giving us some domain name suggestion: tennis racket, tennis court. Google, yeah, young adults try to become tennis pros. That is something
Mm.
that we can put into the as a search query. So it's
Yeah.
already giving you some
Because
ideas.
it was interesting because initially we just was mentioning young adult and it was automatically saying us to target their parents to buy products for them, which is makes sense because we are targeting young adults who could not make their own purchase or something like that. Maybe parents will be uh, doing the purchase and everything, so we can create our content especially targeted towards parents also, because that will be doing more and in this case also I see couple of keyword ideas and topical ideas which it automatically brings up, like becoming a tennis pro could be a keyword or topical idea I can explore, and also something like tennis courts for kids, which is
Yes,
another idea which is comes up because we didn't mention I think anything related with court. We were
right.
just mentioning the product, but it automatically becomes that niche as well.
Yeah. If I want to send my kid who is 7 year old to tennis, I will definitely look right now tennis court near me
True.
15-year-old 16, because that's, as a parent, I want to make sure that I have something in the vicinity I
True.
can send the kid and bring. So this is my search point. Maybe my kid will look into my tennis plan,
True.
or I will look into how to become like tennis pro, something like this.
Yeah,
When it's
and
going
it
into,
also makes sense. For example, even you might think that we are trying to sell selling equipment for tennis, but when we are creating site, we just not should not only focus on the products, but
yes.
also the pain points of the audience. So even though we may not be having a code to rent out or something like that, but people who are searching for these are the essentially your target audience is going to be. So we can get the audience not just directly but also indirectly by covering these topic. They are having a different interest, but they are your target audience. So once they are inside your website, they might go out and check out other products and everything, and could be a good long tail idea as well for keywords.
Right. So the ideas of the keyword is one thing, but the concepts or
True.
the insights are also useful. For example, it says here, if you are targeting or thinking about starting before age 10, then it's probably best to talk with a coach or other experienced player who know about he or she is talking about. So if I were to build, if I am to build this website, I will put a section there like coaches, the three top coach and
True.
their interview with the coach, and also why it is important when you start before age of 10 having a
True.
dedicated coach for you. And though I am selling tennis equipment, but this information that I will provide will make
True.
me authority in
True.
this tennis equipment.
True.
Then content ideas, of course, I won't read all of them, but you see that there are new and new ideas are popping up.
And we can keep on clicking on generate just from these sections to get more ideas, concepts and everything.
Indeed, indeed. You can expand on this. So the process is same. The goal of these insights was to improve this, to
True.
make them more better. So you can pick up some idea, rewrite something, and make this better. So it's a kind of two-way process. You make this better, insights become better. You borrow from insights, save them. The next step become more even better.
True.
And always good to then save this. So then I'm into the next section. I'm saying here my website name. So my website name is https tennis um, tennis shop .nl. Let's put it like that. Company legal name is tennis uh, shop. I will call it Holland. Um, I can check another. I can take another demography if you have, but let's put it like Holland
True.
tennis shop. Now the thing to understand here is we don't need to fill by hand everything now. From this stage onwards, only
Hmm.
the initial onboarding question were needed to seed it. But from this stage onward, we can take this assistance. And of course, there will be something that we need to make changes. It's same thing that you create your frameworks or other things where you carefully create product description, and then you make sure that they are accurate, because based on this pattern, we will generate more ideas, insights, and also in the content creation, we'll link it together.
True.
So when I say press this button, then it basically try to come up with its best estimate of or best understanding of what we want. So here, role is your web developer, or your own role and title. You're owner of this web shop. Your own title is you're the owner of Holland Tennis Shop. You're targeting under age of 16-year male, Amsterdam, Netherlands. I'm a student in the University of Amsterdam. It's coming up its own. I'm not putting anything. And University of Amsterdam is one of the big, but maybe university is kind of a
Too big.
bigger target. I can take some other example of a college, or say HBSC college in Amsterdam, something like that.
So at this stage, based on the base defining your niche stage which we created, now it's trying to create a ideal demographic for our target audience, right?
Yes, yes, and you can modify it. You can make it from Amsterdam to Chennai, or to other place, and the local things there, and then it will work on that idea only, or it will
True.
suggest us those ideas. So demographic, main traffic channel also is suggesting us the Facebook tennis shop dot Holland. You can create some kind of Facebook group like this, or a page like this. The process is same here. We save. If we want if we want to go deeper into this, we can of course generate insights. These insights are again valuable for us, not immediately here to improve them maybe, but for as a business person, if I want to set up my tennis equipment shop in Amsterdam, then I would like to know more details, like how can I, uh, which people are good to target, what other things that I should take into account, and it is going to throw us many such ideas. Website domain name. Domain name is suitable for choose for a website domain and address. So how to choose a domain name, for example, what to have in mind while you choose this domain name. Company name, role and title, um, decision maker, which is the age group, and in which category they might fit into the budget, something like that. Their age, gender, male tennis player with the primary age of 15, 19 don't find a competitor their level typically. So companies mainly targeting male under the age of 19. So it comes up with some ideas. Location, Amsterdam, why it can be important for having a tennis or things like that. Occupation, marital status, experience in years, education level. These insights sometimes might be slightly off, but when you again generate, they try to converge more and more, better and better. That's what at this stage I want to point out, because we are still seeding the idea to AI, and as our idea get more and mature, these insights also becoming more and more mature. The next time I will generate, it will become more better.
True.
Now here is the
So
part.
the idea is, even if we didn't get enough accurate information on the demographic, whatever the information we got from there, try to include that into the content fields and try to regenerate it, so it will get a much better relevant content for you.
Yes, yes. The idea is more unique, more new ideas that you can get as a tennis equipment shop owner that you don't know yourself. Then incorporate it here. It
True.
helps you to create very powerful persona, which is very unique, specific. That's the whole idea. Now, in terms of whether I say semantics, right? This is a place where you can inject an SEO oriented approach also into this research. And how to do it, there is a bit side step here, but you can go here in the spying wizard in the search intent discovery. So let me start with first search intent, and I would put something like this: tennis equipment. So all the trending topic, if I wanted to create my website, These are the trending topics coming from search. So tennis equipment near me, tennis equipment list. I will make a tennis equipment list, equipments for beginner, tennis equipment online, tennis equipment
Yep.
brands,
Really
tennis
good
equipment
topic.
stores near me, tennis equipment bags. So you already see this tennis equipment for rental is also good. Tennis equipment suppliers. I can target of this topic. I can also explore what kind of questions people are asking. What is a stable tennis equipment? What are the tennis equipment? What tennis equipment is needed for tennis? There are more multiple type of different type of question. Which
True.
tennis equipment brand? Who sells equipment? Where can I find this? Where to buy? So the my advice here is to find a sweet spot between your skill set as a tennis equipment shop owner, because all of a sudden, if I don't have any affinity with the tennis, I'm not going to start a tennis equipment shop. True. I must have some knowledge about
True.
tennis as a
Exactly.
game, right? Without that, I don't think I can start something. And then, based on my skill and knowledge and who I am targeting, this 19-year-old category, I should find some correlation between them, and I should pick up something which is very relevant for this age group of people who are targeting. So now I will ask you what exactly that thing that this 19-year-old kid will be like looking in the Google, right? And then they're searching me. Maybe you can pick up some idea. Uh,
They will be looking for a equipment list because these are inexperienced players, right? So they
right,
might not know what are the products I need to buy. So if we are not talking about a professional, so the list could be a really good example.
right. So I note down it here, one tennis equipment list,
Or
and maybe tennis equipment for beginners, or
yeah, and rental also because they want not sure which to buy, so they're just looking to rent it out to see whether that is the right one for them or not.
right, rental and beginners. So I will note down these two ideas, and at this point I will think, okay, this is the two ideas that also sort of connect me with the SEO or what people are looking for or searching for. But here there are different things that you can search, like comparison graph. I think here the graph is here. Let me go back. Oops, sorry. So there are different comparison. Uh, 10 and under tennis equipment and clothing, plain tennis equipment, and we can go and go on this. We can do many type of search, but we already agreed, both of us, that let's start with this idea and then we'll
And
see.
also, just in this point, for example, other people who are watching this particular section, if you have seen my keyword research course, this is going to be a really good source to get long tail keywords because it's providing all the different questions keyword, and we from the keyword research course itself we know that questions indeed make a really good long tail keyword, and also we can correctly identify the intent for these keywords. So we can, even though CrawlIQ is not a keyword research software because it's not showing search volume, competition scores, and everything, but just from this particular section itself, we can get long tail keyword ideas, and also we can identify keyword which is right for your intent. Because if we saw in the previous screen, it was showing commercial intent keyword, all the different comparison keywords and everything. So just you can identify the market, but using this particular tool itself, you can, if you are not sure about your demographic or what are the keywords, when we are doing the initial research on CrawlIQ, you can essentially use this particular section here where you don't have any idea, you're just putting tennis equipment here, and you are getting all this idea, and you can use this to construct your define your audience and everything also, because it do provide comparison, preposition, informational intent. We did learned about the main importance of different intent keyword like information, transactional, and commercial. And you can see it does provide different keywords which you can go for it, and you can use this to build out your intent and as well as defining your customer. For example, commercial intent directly show what are the keywords or topical ideas which have a lot more commercial intent to it. I just wanted to mention because I saw all this data, and it really makes a lot of sense when we are looking from a SEO perspective also.
Right, right. So this was a side step to inject SEO search intent. And because this tool was primarily also focusing and making sure that we don't lose the target audience. So it also provides some more ways to make sure that you don't lose the focus and get distracted in this. So let me just say this spying wizard. So if you're completely new to tennis equipment and you're a starter in your business and you really wanted to have a deep dive into understanding this topic more and more better, then you can also perform a wide range of search here, and you can go as deep as possible. But instead of directly jumping to keyword, it forces you to first think about your target audience. What idea would my target audience have about tennis equipment? They may ask questions like, what is the tennis equipment? What are the qualities of the good tennis equipment? How do you buy quality tennis equipment on internet? What questions would my target audience would have about PTAP? I don't know. I would not know what is this PTAP, but the person who is opening a shop, I'm sure. What benefits my target audience would have, what suspicions they would have. A lot of questions around tennis equipment are unanswered. More so, what is your target audience is innocently worrying about those tennis equipment. What mistakes they will make about the tennis equipment. What questions again they will have if they have some doubt. So you see, it's quite useful.
True.
and
Exactly.
and then you can go to this framework. So tennis equipment suspicion, tennis equipment benefit, tennis equipment dream, tennis equipment desire. So it gives you a good research point to feed into the market research that we are doing. If you're like a more a research guy, there is a way to go as much as deep possible. Nobody stops you. You can spend like hours and hours, but it's just a framework, and you wanted to use it. More you use it, more you get unique ideas. More you build your database on those unique ideas. More unique you and 100% differentiated your content will be. If there is a lot of competition on tennis equipment shop in the city, then you have to do it right. The research. You can go here on social media. You can search all these terms in the Facebook pages, group, Twitter, Pinterest. You can identify even your buyer personas here who might be interested.
Exactly.
You can perform the video searches. There must be podcast around it. So listen note is like a search engine for podcast. News story sites. You can go to Medium, Bing, Yahoo. You can go to Wiki, Quora, reference.com, books, products, product reviews. But this is a way for you to deep dive into your research, and not necessarily you want to do it at first end, but you can combine from here the SEO knowledge. You can combine from here like unique ideas that is specific to your niche, and you can bring them all back here. And if even if you don't do that, and you know this 19-year-old kid, I would say don't do all this. Go to this 19-year-old kid, have a coffee with him, ask him questions like, hey, what you will be searching if I open a tennis shop? What is exactly that you would be searching? And we already said he might be interested in, let's say, tennis equipment list, right? He's looking for a tennis equipment list. And here I'm aware of the SEO, and you can also do the whole keyword research based on the tools that you are covering in your program, and you can bring that knowledge here. Again, every time you have to only put two ideas here. So tennis equipment list, and I would say uh, tennis uh, equipment for rental. This right. Let's go with this two idea and then say fill with AI, and then let's see what can it comes up on its own as different topics.
So we just picked two ideas from that list and we are
Mhm.
seeing what is coming up with this.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like there was a repetition here, so I'll make it tennis equipment for beginners. Beginners. Then it comes with on its own gloves. Then
That's a good one because we
tin,
didn't mention it anywhere and it's a relevant one.
yeah, tinted tennis ball. Uh, Tennis equipment for rental. Looks like it got some
Repeat.
repetition. Tennis equipment for beginners. Tennis for beginners. Tennis equipment. Now, at this point, what we can do, we can save this and we can generate more insights. And these insights are going to help us to refine this. So, if there
Hmm.
are more ideas that we can connect or something that we can really build as a part of the research that we have done in other section, right, we can always bring here, come up with our own headline, or if not, then it's going to suggest us some headlines and ideas.
So with the step, we'll also consider the data from the previous two-step data
Yes,
and
yes,
okay,
yes,
that's what
yes,
makes it much more valuable because takes insights into all this into consideration when generating.
indeed, indeed. So niche semantics. It says you can use some keyword finder questions, research to find
This
more
is
topics around this. Uber suggests. So it's giving us some idea like how to go about this research. Then tennis equipment for renters are people who are renting equipment for events or tournament, but are not the person responsible for the equipment. This is most common with rented tennis equipment where players are responsible for bringing their own rackets and balls. See, now if I'm targeting rented equipment, it's also giving me some more ideas, right? Rentals are possible for all other equipments, including mask, uh,
mm,
knee pads, shirts, shorts, shoes, water bottles, bags, shin guards, balls. Rentals may be either the tournament organizer, sponsor, or participant. So, being as a tennis equipment shop, I need to really aware like what are the things that can
exactly.
be rented, which can be arranged by sponsors, and this is going quite deep if you understand what
Yeah,
I'm.
and also it goes into different topical products idea also because we didn't mention any of those product idea where itself can be separate market research we can do for that product and everything we can go deep. So
Yeah,
rather than just taking that old text into a context, I would suggest get points within those texts. Don't take the entire text as an example
yeah,
because it provides valuable snippets within that either to understand the customer better or gives you topical ideas where we can use these ideas into the keyword research software component or something. For example, something like knee pads. We didn't think of it when we were talking about initially. Something like knee pads for tennis beginners or something like that. It could be a topical idea where we can do much more research on that. So I would say to pick sections within that itself to understand the customers and also for the SEO part as well.
right. And how sometime how I use it, like I go about this and convert them into a short social media post. So
Mhm.
while doing a niche research, nothing is wasted because
Exactly.
I'm creating content here already, and
Mm.
this short content I can put on the social media or Facebook group or Instagram, because these are like micro content that you're already
True.
getting. I can write about something about tennis racket. So tennis racket is a wooden bat with the strings that is used to hit a ball. Person with a ball is called the server, and I can come up with some story idea around it, right? It goes into explaining each of these topics that we have uh, seeded with. It also comes with headline: tennis equipment for beginners, save money to buy the right tennis equipment for beginners, find what you need, prepare for your next junior tournament participation. This
Now
was
it
the
now the suggestions makes much more relevance from the initial step itself, where
right,
now it able to understand much more properly because these headings and these taglines all these things are very good, especially if we are running a show a shop or something like that. We can use this to promote our shop, all these things.
right. So it comes up with more things, ideas that you wanted to write in your headline, sub headline. You can generate one more time. You see also if you're trying to get more into understanding like what is happening behind the scene, then there are also specific definitions how headlines should be created. So
Hmm.
we help niche to go from their current state to their desired state in a time frame. So AI and user both are having the same set of instruction. Um, of course, you cannot force AI to come up with exactly this headline because otherwise, then it will create more like a B2B headline. We want to have more flexibility and creativity. So then, based on some ideas, it comes up. So I don't want to create understanding that this exactly as a prompt or to AI model. No, this is just an example for user to understand, and to some extent to AI to also come up structure around it. So whatever we are getting suggestion, they're based on good fundamentals. That is what
Hmm.
I wanted to address. They are based on specific ideas, fundamentals in the copywriting. So you're already creating content which is compelling. You're already creating content which is more in the sense of marketing and sales arguments.
True.
Make sense?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Then the final step that I wanted to take here is a psychographic profiling of this 19-year-old kid. And again, we have to come up with two ideas, and we can think about it, or we can talk to this.
We just got a suggestion from the last step, like win the next local tournament or something like that, right? We got a suggestion. We can use
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. So I'll do something like this. Did you did you know that in uh, 3 months with right choice of equipments equipments and right um, coach. My idea with this as a business owner, I might also tie up with
Yep.
some coaches, and that's what I'm writing this is with that consideration in mind. So you have to always mindful of the business strategy idea that you wanted to put into your research. So did you know that in 3 months with the right choice of equipment and right coach you can win state level tournament tournament. Shall we go with this?
Yeah, your kid, we can mention like, right, coach, your kid can win state level because we are still focusing on that audience.
Right. So did you know that in 3 months with the right choice and with the right coach, uh, your kid your kid can win a state level
Hmm.
tournament. Emotional payoff will be um pride and
Accomplishment.
accomplishment. Uh, Sorry for this. It's
No worries.
accomplishment and joy of participation, something like that. Here again, we have to be careful. Like we really are talking about this 19-year-old kid, so we need and their parents, right? So we need to take some kind of emotional sort of idea that will appeal to them. So
Hmm.
more better we are here, more better. I think
The
the AI will
insights.
also insights and the suggestions that will come here will be better. So single big desire, of course. Did you know that in 3 months, right choice? It has some repeat, so we can
Repeat.
always correct. Big idea. You want to become a professional tennis player in the state level league. Problem: he's struggling to find the right tennis equipment like tennis balls, rackets, and other necessary accessories in good quality and low budget. What to do with the problem agitation? What to do with the kids who can't afford tennis gear? Agitation or solution is struggling to find the right tennis equipment like blah. It seems like it is restructuring our initial input
Into
in a
different
way which,
section.
yeah. So single question: what are you waiting for? Results: winning a state level tournament. Roadblock: it has been difficult for Joseph to find a tennis equipment in the good quality and affordable price. Pain: unable to find the right tennis equipment in good quality. There's also a pain. Um, Positive curiosity, negative curiosity, when you want to achieve this result. secret, the best way to get involved in sports is to start at the lowest level and work your way up. This is the secret to win an state level tournament. Mistake: not budgeting enough time to experiment with different racket models. That can be a mistake. We didn't mention anywhere this one.
These outputs really feel like really good to create a sales copy or just selling a product page or text, because it addressing all the pain points, all the
Mhm.
wins and everything. So essentially we can use these inside our sales. Like if we are selling a product or service, we can mention that. I think that will convert a more and give more ideas for the user.
Right. So positive value, negative value, time frame, how much time frame we need to achieve this result, budget, like single big time frame, urgency. Do it now or you will regret it for the rest of your life. So you, as you said, it's compelling sales and call to action ideas, and how to write maybe a big URL like this is not good idea for SEO, right? But it's trying to come up with
True.
things that you want it to come up, right? And then this is only one part here. You can save them and you can generate insights which are going to further help you with that. So the problem with many people is that they get stuck into this idea that they have to fill a lot of this, but the time that you spend here is a quality time, high quality time. If you're really a tennis equipment shop owner, you don't want to risk anything, and you wanted to
True.
really do a research, maybe
True.
create more workspace, 2 3, and say what it say
True.
how it's coming out. So more time you spend, more unique you're going to be. Now at this stage, what is happening, we have collected all the sales and marketing argument, including a perspective from the SEO part, right? The semantics. What now we can do is we can also inject an external knowledge to the Athena. And what does it mean? That we wanted to say some evidence, scientific numbers, figures, facts, any kind of fact-based knowledge that we know is the best source. If I am opening it as tennis equipment shop, it can be a competitor page or anything. So let's take, for example, a page and then inject that best tennis uh, equipment. I would say website, and then I'll choose something which might be a good one. Uh, let me let me put something like uh, tennis equipment.
Are you looking for informational content or just
Eh,
product based?
I'm looking for more informational content that can help 19-year-old boy to make good decisions, because we are creating content for him, right?
Makes sense.
To,
Makes sense.
or maybe we can look for like tennis equipment
The third
list.
results looks good. The third result look good in this search.
Which one
Uh,
was there?
the if you see the My Tennis HQ, I think that is a blog which is like an affiliate. It might have good content.
Uh, my
Yeah, that one.
This one,
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah,
think.
it can be it can have a very informative content. I definitely agree. So what I would do, like I will take this and inject it into the training part where I was saying train Athena, add URL. So add URL, add this URL, and then I will say yes. So basically, what is happening? It take the content from this website and turn this content into a series of questions, just questions, 10 questions, and then using the AI and the context that we have here, it try to answer these questions. So in a no way there is a plagiarism happening here, because we are only using this page to get the context in the form of questions, like what different questions we can make from this page, and then answer these questions based on the information that we have so far. And
Got it.
then also add this as a question answer pair in the Athena for the pattern for the for content generation.
Makes sense.
Just making sure that we are done here. I think we are. Yes. Then we can go to dashboard. We can also do later. We can train from here. But the best way to show you right now is this one. So what you have done now is you have created a single Google search like database inside your workspace. Anytime you can ask this search, think of this as your assistant, your AI assistant, and anytime you can ask it like single big problem, what I'm facing in my niche, or single big desire. Any question that you ask it, understand in the context of search. So single big thing, I'm struggling to find the right tennis equipment, like tennis, blah blah blah. You ask me question, I will type it here, and we'll see what comes out of it.
Mm, uh, what are the equipments I need to buy to learn tennis? I'm not sure whether that is good or
Yeah,
not.
sure. What
Do I need to play tennis?
equipment do I to play tennis? So it again throwing us the tennis equipment list, tennis equipment. So see this way, even if I don't have answer right now, right? If I am writing a content like what equipment do I need to buy play tennis, right? What will happen under the hood that this result will be paged and it will be the part of the prompt to communicate with the language model, and then the moment this will hit to the language model, you will get a list of ball, racket, shoes, shirt, everything that you need, right? So this is the mechanism that I want to explain you, that once you have this data for your own personalized data, then this is on the fly will be used for the content creation. This is a single source of truth for any query that is happening between user and the language model. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Even if there's no direct answer, we can take tennis equipment list and put it into the content part of the crawl queue,
Yeah,
and it will show all the generated results depending on that particular question, right?
exactly. So when I just type on the editor what equipment do I need to play tennis, and I will select this and say write me Athena, it will throw this, and then the results will be fetched for all the equipment that is needed. So this way you are having a full control on your content, because it's not going outside or going random, because all the time it is referring to this research.
Makes sense.
Right? So racket, I'm not sure if this was the search result. So you see here types of racket. When it says source, then this is all coming from this part, and it's not exactly this part. The kind of racket that you would make me play, as well as I can play the problem. There is no such racket of any of such. It's matter of finding the racket that will help you to play your best racket more than the good is the racket that won't break on you during a match. So it's giving you the idea based on what suggestion has been given in this article. So question and then answer, question and answer.
Basically, this is like a database of all the content we have for this particular project. So whatever the
Right,
keyword we
right.
mention, from
Yeah,
all the sources, it has access, and the AI part and everything, it's bringing up all the content which it has related to that particular query.
right. What I did is I took that content from here and I tried to search it here. So I really want to show you that anything which is here shown as the search result, you won't find as it is there in the article, because this is not how it works. It's not like taking your content and putting there. It's this content is just used to create some smart questions, like say 30, 35, 75 questions. It depends on the content and how it works. But the idea here is whatever I'm taking, you can see it does not find anything related to this,
Makes
and
sense.
I copied from there here this thing, and I try to search it there. So I want to show that this is a unique database of your own that you are using for the content creation. And this database is powerful because you can plug in many sources.
Makes
So
makes
in
sense.
our roadmap, what we are currently busy is add all the market research source, add all the sales copywriting source, add all the SEO related positions like all
So
the.
we can keep on adding more and more relevant sources to get more accurate data.
Right, right. If you are having a tennis equipment data, or if you are having your e-commerce platform, you can also plug in maybe in an advanced use case, and then that is your data. Each product
Makes sense.
description you can have and plug in, and it becomes your centralized data for
Mm,
all. Also, that of course that will be use case for the more enterprise level client
true.
or
Makes sense.
or,
Makes.
right. But the idea here is you're injecting the data and making the database your personalized data, and this data is not like a normal data but a searchable data, like how the
Make,
Google search work. It understands the meaning. It's not like exactly matching the query keyword and the query,
mm,
but it understands the meaning. You can ask it like what do this mean and that mean, and then it is fetching you the result which it understands the meaning of that sentence,
mm.
right? um, what then I quickly want to show you is that of course you can create content using it, and I want to show you very quickly how to create content. Before that, there is also here sales copywriting wizard, and it has different sales letter, video scripts, landing pages. Here also the mechanism is more or less same. So for example, if this is a sales letter, right? So what happens here, it has a couple of questions. Sometime when the sales letter is big, then of course the questions are many, but it again asks you like 3 4 questions in the beginning, and you should answer this question in the way the instructions are provided. Once you answer these questions in the instruction provided, you can say fill with AI, same as we were doing in the market research.
Mm.
And for one or two script, if you do carefully, if you change your answers, make them good, then it understands the pattern. And then next time when you create sales letter, it will be just click of the button. You don't need to make all the answers correct. You
Makes
can
sense.
create document, and then your sales letter will be ready, and you can then further enhance this with different tools that exist on the editor. And I'm going to show you that editor also will create very quick content. So let's say main topic of interest is still, uh, let's say, make a uh, tennis equipment list. Initial content idea, um, create an informative, informative, I'm using informative article on necessary tennis equipment needed for under 19 um, tennis tournament. Tennis tournament for beginners. What problem does this content solve for you or for the readers? It provides an just a just a list of items to be purchased on low budget and high quality. Does that make sense? I'm not doing any kind of complex stuff here. I'm just putting some information that I need, and I will
Mm.
select this time maybe Netherlands as a country. Um, but I can keep the US also because this is more informative blog,
Makes
and
sense.
it doesn't matter. But maybe let's do for this purpose like this.
And also, not only from the market research, we can possibly get ideas from here as well, right?
Yes, yes. Now it's open play. So we have all the Google blogs topics will be coming. We have all the market research that we have done, which is pulling the ideas from there. And now we have different tools to expand on this. So create an informative article. We should start with the introduction, which says, I think introduction is not that yet there. List of items required to a successful tennis tournament. So tennis shoes, dry towel, gym shorts, t-shirts, gym shirt, hat or visitor, sunglasses, sunscreen. This is the thing that we need, right? And this is exactly what happened. So I showed you like the prompt understand tennis equipment list or something, and then it create this list, even though it was not originally in the database.
Yes, it
List
wasn't
was
there.
right. Then practice tennis tournament are underway. Practice tournaments. So we have to write content about how to participate in practice tournaments. Are busy for intermediate tennis players to get ready for competitive tournaments. So there is a difference between competitive tournament and practice tournament. And then in the every state over here in Netherlands, there's a lot of clubs which organize only practice tournament. Once you get higher there, then you go to competitive tournaments. This is how the structure works, for example. So how you can expand this? There are different tools here. So you can generate headline intros. You can start your blog with. So this is the initial outline. Now it is initial outline is just a starting point for us, like a rough draft, right? This is what we should focus on this, and I can start with this outline, for example. So it says um, tennis equipment for under 19 tennis tournament. Makes sense? Sorry. So my article is for the young adult who is. I think I have a background noise.
No worries, no worries.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you. No worries.
So you can see that it is really focusing on our market research. My article is for young adult who is aspiring under 19 to become a tennis player, younger kids 19 looking for. This is a good sort of introduction which also connect with what we are trying to achieve. And then you have several items here which you can expand on. You can continue to generate more headline. You can go to all the
Surprise.
competitors, SERP results, so tennis racket. Now, what is happening here is you're not going to use this content never directly. You're going to convert them into questions, and then those questions you can answer in the context of market research. You're also getting some initial score here, like 69, which is already quite good, which is connected with our market research. You can keep improving this market research score, but you can also keep improving your SEO score because you are converting this into questions, and then you're asking answers from the AI, and answers are really in the context of your market research and the data that you have, and that way you're never copying anyone's content. You are always creating content based on what you have. So I can see this, what is a racket that
Yeah, I
suit you
can
and your
clearly
game.
say because it's not generating some random, because even in the answers I can see that it consistently mentioning under 19 or beginners or the different context of it.
Right. So once I start building like this, then I can bring them into a different bullet points. I have different tools here which I can use to keep continue writing, researching this. So for example, I can say a racket with the grip size appropriate for this hand size, a can of balls or at least two can of this practicing the partner, tennis balls in various colors enough for this. So you see, it's already expanding our initial idea of the list that we need, right? And in a more detailed way. So then I can go here. I have two things here. If it is an instruction based, so it's a question. So for example, we can also try to answer here. What is the racket that suit you and your game? So if it's a instruction based, then you say ask me Athena, because it understands this is instruction based. And if you just wanted to keep continue writing in a small snippets, then you say write me Athena,
Makes sense.
then you expand on it. So it also provided us an answer which is different than this, because that was in the different context. So first, a racket should be right weight. That is the advice. A heavier racket might suit an adult or teenager with a lot of arm strength, while a lighter racket is better for juniors and beginners. Makes sense, right? It's not like
Yeah, exactly.
ideally you want to find a lightweight model that feels balance when you hold it in your hand. This will give you more control over ball placement and power. It is important to test out different types of rackets before deciding which one suits you best, right? So we can continue to build our blog like this. We can give it h2 tag. We can insert pictures here. We can also, I showed you already. Of course you don't want to rewrite it, but you can rewrite it. And of course you don't want to copy and paste it, but this is just more inspiration. What I can do maybe here is I can take this and then pick up some topics or ideas, and then I say write me Athena on that here. So that
Hmm.
will, I can throw the, I don't use their content, but I can use write me Athena or ask me Athena and keep developing that content. Now it's just like how much I want to cover: tennis shoes, tennis clothes. I can also build my headline from here. So I can just keep
we
typing
can
here.
we can just keep on taking more and more different stuff, either a keyword from our niche side of it, like the research side of it, or just from SERP or from competitors, where we can keep on generating more content. And in
Right,
the process of generating content, we are still able to identify more topical ideas, products we should focus, or customer defining keywords and everything, because we keep, even if you are not planning to use this as a content generation, just using different aspect of different elements and everything, we are still able to bring more and more relevant content. That's the key focus here. Like, we started off with a general in output and everything, but whenever we are keep on going into much more narrowing it down, now we are seeing whatever the content which is come. For example, we were just mentioning kids, beginners and everyone. Now it automatically started to bring it content like junior into context, into different as a customer audience, so we can generate more ideas as well. Just that I was noticing those things, because the cool was, even though we are directly going to content marketing, we are still able to find more ideas within year also. Just wanted to mention that.
right. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm putting a structure, and then I'm just building on that structure using either write me Athena or ask me Athena. And the difference there was, um, write me Athena is more like a explanatory text, and the question type of text are more answered by ask me Athena, right?
Makes sense.
So it's not like a push button blog, but it's really based on your own research that you have done on target audience, on a keyword research. And even if you have done it outside, you can bring that research here, copy paste that research or a brief, and then you can continue to develop your content based on this. What we are working right now is also having a choice here that I want completely data from market research, or from the sales point of view, or completely from
Makes
the
sense.
SEO positions. So then you can derive the choice and the tone. Like you wanted to write only from SEO perspective, then choose this for Athena to do that. So that will help. Also, there are templates here which I really wanted to mention.
And also, I think something like with your software, the research or the process is not going to never end, right? Like, if we want to expand on a topic, we can re-go everything from step by step, and we can keep on adding more content, more into database, and more input. So there is not going to be any stopping point here. You just keep on having a workspace and creating as much content or different idea, which will keep on adding more and more value or more and more content for you guys, I think.
Right. Think if tomorrow, as a shop owner, I decided to have two segment in my store. One is for the 19-year under, there's a completely first floor of my store, and then I'm also targeting senior citizens who are like wanted to get fit, and they're 55 and plus, and they need different type of racket, they need different type of shirt, shoes, racket, sunglasses,
Makes
cream,
sense.
and maybe something else. And then I can create completely different workspace, borrowing sort of more or less ideas and different types of keyword, right? How to stay fit and healthy at 55 playing
Mm.
tennis, right? This is another section. I have another floor, and
It
then
goes
completely.
kids.
So, and here in the template, you can see different types of blog post, Facebook template, YouTube video descriptions, um, startup emails, ideas, how to make a buyer persona template. So there are many of them templates, like 23. I'll pick one like a blog post template, how to blog post template, and what is here is adapted. So these templates are adapted, of course, from the HubSpot open source templates, and these are the best advice from HubSpot, how to structure your pillar post,
Mm.
cluster post. And what we did is, of course, with the full credit to HubSpot, and maybe there are users can also add their template here, but we have to rewrite it a little bit in the way which work with Athena. So we say copy from here, and you see now it's just single big desire. What I will do is I will select this and I will say ask Athena or write Athena, because Athena understand this language. I also typed in the initially single big desire, and it comes
Mm.
right. So in the same way, uh, you have, if you are new to the blogging, right, you can just take this context from here, like this text, paste in the editor, and it also has a certain set of instruction like how to publish your blog. And you can go from scratch, uh, like from very scratch you can develop this whole blog here. So what way I'm doing here, I will just say introduction. I will say um, either in this
Right.
case ask me Athena, or I can say write me introduction. So introduction is tennis racket is an essential piece of equipment to play the game. You see the introduction is started already. It's not repeating anything. It's just coming from our market research. Single big desire. So how I will develop this is all the time I will go to ask me Athena on this bold topic. And then once I have something, I will say write me Athena. This is how the flow will be. So here I can say now write me Athena, because it can then expand this, and I can quickly build my blog outline like this. And if I say ask me Athena, it gives me like exact text that is there in my market research. So see, the desire is to win an state level tournament. Now you can also refer to your market research all the time here, and you can see that single big desire was this here, but it sort of it picked up this idea state level
Mm.
tournament, and now I can say write me Athena. So this way you have super specific your research here, which is available to you, and you can keep continuing. There are some instruction for user, describe in about 150 words what you want to achieve by this blog, what is your desire to solve the problem for your users. So if you read this and keep in mind that what exactly you're producing here is in exact structure, you might come up with a blog which is like really unique and
Mm.
quite designed based on your own research, and it understands this context. What is the main topic of interest? I think there was some problem here. Let me take this up. It will keep it will keep saying provide 3 suggestions if you are new to this main topic of interest, and it will keep developing your blog structure. So main topic of interest was tennis equipment list. It is important to find the right tennis equipment, blah blah blah. Are you an adult? What size of racket you should get? How much do racket cost? Do I need a new racket string, or can my old one can work? You see, it's very specific, right? If you see this output, which is very specific to the young adult and the research that we did, and I can keep on asking it based on this instruction. Provide 3 suggestions if you are new to the uh, to the tennis equipment list. So tennis racket, shoes, balls. These are the three important thing. It comes up with this, and now I can expand on this.
Mm.
What is a single big problem? Then again, I can say, ask me Athena, and then I can expand on this. So if you are new to the blogging, you can also follow this structure. So I'm writing this for high school student preparing to participate, blah, blah, blah. And then you can cover these points. You can again say, write me Athena, ask me Athena. It has conclusion, tips and reminder for main topic of interest, single big result, main call to action, write main call to action.
So the idea behind this, you have created a template sort of a different style of writing content. We
Mhm.
just copy that and use the, you have made the heading as the right way to ask Athena for
Yes,
the
yeah,
output, the best possible way. And you
right,
just need to highlight it and ask, do a ask me Athena. And once the content has come up, a snippet has come up, just use right Athena to continue the content
right,
which is providing. So
right,
that way, even if you are not an experienced blogger, you can use the market research data, whatever the industry research data, to create a whole blog post based on it. And you can use this data through any way as possible. For example, understanding the customer, like creating a blog post itself, and also to do a research, because it's just now we can see the output we are getting. It's no longer uh, semi-relevant or semi-relevant, just relevant, but it's super niche oriented. Every results we are getting is focused for beginners. Every result is focused for our target audience which we created, and we keep on getting more and more. So not just we are doing research here, but we also creating the actual content also in the stage itself from our research.
right. So you see, I say write the main call to action. So if I am shop owner, then I will say contact us now, and we will provide you the necessary equipment
Mm,
or list of equipment your child needs to be a professional tennis player. Makes sense, right?
mm,
Then I said write a conclusion. So here are some conclusions that I have come up with. There are many different types of tennis equipment to choose from. So you should find something that suits your needs and style of the play. It is important to buy good quality gears because it will last longer and be more comfortable for you. You don't want equipment that is cheaply made or uncomfortable or which can cause injury or lack of
mm.
enjoyment while playing the game. So I think it's a perfect conclusion of any blog landing
and
page.
and
Which
it does understand the pain point of this target audience, because
Mhm.
as a parent they will be focusing on the injuries which can happen and everything. So they want to find equipment which is causing less injury, and from a kid's perspective they want to enjoy the game as well. So all the content which I am seeing right now, I'm not sure whether this is random or just based on the topical research we did, but we are getting more and more relevant semantic connection words and different ways of saying the keyword. Just amazing that part.
Right. So let me recalculate a score because I injected more and more market research pain point or things. So that earlier it was 69. Even if it increased by 1%, I will be
True.
happy. But this is a score which sort of connect, and you can see a KPI, and this KPI really shows you like how you're improving the content. Now looks like we are also injecting more and more, so maybe score is still in the same range, not improved, but this is still relevant. It says, wow, you can expect you are going to get yes from Fred. So that
Mm.
means you're going to get a thumbs up for this content. If it is in this range, then you need more preparation. And if you are really in this range, then you have covered most of these points. Think of this as a, how can I say, if you're familiar with SEMrush writing assistant, right? It start tracking your keywords that you supply to in your writing, right? And it create a spider chart or something like that. How much is readability? I'm not sure if you're familiar. I was using that tool, and I
Yes.
know this is how exactly we're trying to achieve. And we will add more scores here, like SEO score, market research score, sales score. And then there will be sort of kind of connectivity or spider thing. But what I can say here, your market research is here. All the SERP data and all the headlines sections are here. You can expand them. You can ask a question to them. these questions again can be answered in a way. You can use template, you can use write me Athena, ask me Athena, you can use headline intro. All the topics that you must cover in this blog as a SEO point of view is also here. These are all the topics that your competitors are talking. There's also a topic score which is coming here. So we all only cover yet 13 topics. We can cover more if you want to purely optimize it for all these competitors. Of course, we are not yet best in how to make the topic score and all those things. So I would try to
Makes
address
sense.
this
Makes sense.
expectation. It's not like it's perfect, but it's just like the um, most frequent words that are coming from all these search result. Tennis, play, head, player, main, pro, code. So these are not like from SEO point of view, but more from the coverage point of view. You can also see all the if the questions are there in the Quora or other places, it pops up here. All the news item that are also for this might pop up here. I'm not sure. I use a like kind of long topic or something. Because if I use only maybe tennis equipment or something, the
Makes
news
sense.
item will also appear here. And you can also change your query, by the way. So tennis, um, uh, tennis equipment, tennis board, anything which is relevant to, of course, your search result. So it will change the whole search result here, and you should be able to then, if you are doing a research and you wanted to have some more content, like in your keyword, if you identify like 4 keywords, you can go and change this here, and then it will fetch all the relevant data, and then you can again inject that in your writing to make your blog or content as specific as possible.
Makes sense. So we can just keep on checking on various models, this content, write me, and also different templates to just keep on expanding. And all this text and insights will be keep on saving into database, so we can get more and more idea content, and we can just keep on doing more market research and everything, right?
Yes. So you see some results from news are appearing. I'm not sure if there are okay. There are some questions. You can again. These are all Quora questions. You can again answer this, and when you answer this, it is exactly answered in the context of your research, and that's important. If it's a close-end question, you will get a close-end answer. If it's open-end question, then you will get open-ended answer. So how much is a tennis court? Tennis court is about $200,000, right? So you see, it's like questions, news, topics, SERP, market data, and what we are adding is like different modes to Athena, where you can write different content. It's sales-oriented, informative content, and soon you will be able to duplicate workspace. All these workspaces are also available as demo workspace. So today what we did basically is also might be available for other people. They can just copy this workspace from the tool, tennis equipment shop, and this workspace will be available as a demo workspace. So there are 44 different research already here, like 3D printing, ADSD pinpoint, artificial intelligence, B2B copywriting, budget travel to Belize, content automation, digital agencies,
And the
edutech.
important thing is we just didn't even finish the market research fully, but we got a lot of data. But if we wanted, we could have just kept on going and filling all the other steps and everything to keep on getting more insight, more stuff. We just took some demo examples, then we branched out to show other all the options as well, right?
Yeah, this is designed for especially agencies and long-term purpose, because you wanted to have a client, you wanted to serve them in a long-term basis. You wanted to collect case studies, you wanted to collect testimonials, you wanted to collect team, and you wanted to keep this as a single source of truth for your whole business and the content strategy. So if suppose I'm serving a plastic surgeon and I'm creating a website for plastic surgeon, then I wanted to keep in a centralized place all the
Makes sense.
research, all the data, all the FAQs, testimonial, because once I have this, then I have everything for the content creation,
Makes
business
sense.
strategy. So the
Makes
case
sense.
studies are the same. Like you again collect a case study, name of the person from whom you collected, case study name, what was the state one when you started working with this person. If I'm plastic surgeon, I will go to a patient, I will collect a case study from him, his name, name of the what plastic surgery I did, what was the initial state, what was the desired state, how much it took. I will take a code from this person. I will put some image URL
Bas-
here.
Basically, what the it's I think mentioning is that it's not just one time you've done and finish it off and move it on to another different content or something like that. It's not just market research for SEO, it's not market research for customers, but as a whole business, if you are doing market research, you are keep on learning the industry, you keep on learning the business, and this is you are putting all the efforts at first because you want to make the content as relevant as possible, get all the insights and everything. Then once you have all the content and everything, it's not going away.
Yeah,
Those contents are keep on using again and again within the this particular workspace to get more related content and everything. So that is what it the most uh, power of what I would say for this particular software. There is a long process to set it up, but remember, even if you spend time to set it up, it's not going to be one time and finish. It's going to be a long term approach. If you are a business owner, you want to insert your business detail as much as possible, because it's not going to help you on the short term, but in the long term it keep on getting better and bringing you more and more relevant results for you.
right, right. I just wanted to add that here we are not only finding the niche, but we are finding what is our niche, what is the transformation that we want to achieve for our niche, which is like 19-year-old kid. We want to achieve a transformation from his current state to a state level win. What price that he is willing to pay to buy the equipment, what mechanism we are going to have in our marketing and sales, what is the access channel, are we going to use Instagram, or are we going to use Facebook. So this process is not only niche research but finding the market. I call this whole equation as market, and market is both niche, your transformation, price that niche is willing to pay, your mechanism, how you are going to take him from his current state to future state, and what access channel you are going to provide, because everything that you need to do this NTPMA is here in, on this thing, because it
Makes
also
sense.
has offer and call to action. You need to build offer, you need to create an offer to this, like of you don't sell uh, equipment list, you sell equipment, and for this equipment you need to come up with the offer. And when I have an offer, then it's not only I'm selling racket, but I'm selling shoes, I'm selling ball, and I can come up with a package with a discount, with urgency,
it's
warranty.
it's almost like a personal assistant for you on your
uh,
business. You want to
yeah,
get, if you have any doubt or not sure something, you just ask here, try to find what are the things available. As a whole business, it's going to help you, I think.
yeah, that's the idea actually. Yeah,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Really, really appreciate this. We got. I really appreciate that the reason, because you took a completely new niche for you. There was nothing planned or something like that. We took a completely random niche and we went away and started all the explanation, everything, and really interesting to see, because we put more effort into the initial steps compared to other tools in the market. But initially we were getting bit unrelevant answers, but as soon as we started putting more and more example or sample idea using your the search intent tool and spying tools and everything to get more data, once we started putting that, now we started to getting more and more relevant results. So I think the power of the product is going to be the content you input into that software, because if you are putting unrelevant stuff, the output is also going to be unrelevant or not focused on the prompt. But just think, you are putting all these efforts not for one single time purpose, it's going to be working throughout, like it's just training with you, like understanding and everything. It's going to keep on learning with you. So
Yeah.
whatever the input you are going to put, don't think from a short term perspective. And I can't say that this tool just a SEO research, because I would be lying, because it's more than that. It's not just SEO, it's not just content, or it's not just understanding the customer, but as a whole, this tool provides a good research components to do understand a whole lot of different aspects of the business, but also helps you to create content and create your own centralized content database. So that's how I would say or explain CrawlQ to another person who is asking about it. Just not a
Yeah.
market research tool, but a personal assistant of research. It's going to be growing with you throughout the business itself.
Right. It's your database. It stays with
Hmm.
you. It's very unique to you, and you can use it multiple times, create it much more and more better. You can retrain it based on the new information, and in the backend, it's creating a dynamic context from user to the language model to create content for you, which
It's
is relevant and unique.
It's really exciting. And thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And you did it a random one. And I'm impressed with it because it's not just a SEO research, but we are doing a full business research. And I think there is a learning process where our users need to understand what a kind of input they need to provide and everything. But once they understood and they understand that this is not a short term tool or a quick tool, it's going to be a long term tool based on for the entirety of your business life cycle, then it's okay. For example, we invested 1.5 hours. So if it's your own business, you want to understand and you want to keep on improving it, you wouldn't mind spending 1.5 hours into providing the details and input. Probably without us talking, we could have done it much more faster. But this is what it takes. You need to put the effort input, and depending on that, it's going to give you results in the long term, not
Right.
directly short term, but in a long term, it's going to give you more and more relevant contents. That's what I understand from it. If you have
Right.
final things, you can add it
Yeah.
here.
I mean, think if you are a team or even you have two people, you can just do the research and delegate them to create content. They are never going to come up with the content which is different from what you initially thought as a research or your business
Mm,
owner. Think uh, 1 month later, you again start, you from holiday, you come back, and you again start thinking about, oh, what was the pain point, who I was targeting, what was the problem I was solving. You don't need
mm.
to redo it. It's done. It's there. It's available. You just need to come and start a new fresh line, and then your content will be always relevant to your initial research. So as a business owner, as a content creator, there is a setup time in the beginning, but you reap the
Exactly.
benefit. Your ROI is much higher because you don't need to reinvent the wheel all the time when you start creating the content. You don't need to look on the blank screen and then come up again. What is the problem, pain point, roadblock? It's already all there, structured for you from your first day
So
when you did the research.
when we generate content, it's not generating random content. It
No,
generates a content, but it keeps your database also in your focus, your own personal database in your focus. So
right,
these input outputs you are going to get is going to be related to that. So whatever the content piece you are going to write, whatever the blog article, everything is going to finally tie back to the research you did. So that's what I
right.
understood.
Right,
Okay.
right. And then there are different modes to filter the database based on market research,
Hmm.
sales mode, or you wanted to create completely focused on SEO mode, then you can also choose that. That's what in the roadmap. It's not yet available today, but it is coming very soon. It's under testing and deployment.
Exciting. I think we can do another meet on during
Yeah,
that time.
yeah,
Hopefully.
sure, sure.
Thank you so much, Harish, for doing this. I really appreciate your time, and I wish you best of luck with Crawl IQ. And if you guys are interested on it, I will leave the link for Crawl IQ. You can go through it and check out the product, and just you can test it out. Please give the time it deserves, because there are some initial effort needs to be done to provide the value input. It's just not a button click and you get all the results, but see this whole video and see the final output it was generating, final content it was generating. If you want to have something like that where every content is going to be focused towards your market research, then CrawlIQ will be the most relevant one. Just test it out, give it your go on your personal niche and see how it works. That's what the most important thing. It's not going to be quick but takes time, but it does more than just a market research. It's going to help you to run your business, give you all the information you need to run your business successfully. So thank you so much again, and I
Sure.
wish you guys good luck and a lot more success.
Thank you. Thank you, Alston.
Take care.
Yeah.